Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel Books with Natasa. Today I have a quite a long video for you guys, so grab a drink, a snack, relax, and let's just get straight into the video. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about all the series I'm currently in the middle of. I got the idea for this video from one of my all-time favorite booktubers, Throne of Pages. I will put her link down below. And I'm currently in the middle of 45 series, but in this video I'm only going to talk about 22. I'm going to separate the series into categories: very high, medium, and everything below that is going to be close to DNFing this series or just giving up on it. Just a disclaimer, you will notice in the middle of the video me switching clothes, and that is because the first half of the video the clips went missing, so I'm currently refilming it for you guys. So let's hope this one doesn't go missing, because it is quite a lot of books to talk about and it's just getting excessive at this point. The first series I'm going to talk to you about, I know many of you aren't surprised, but that is Origin series by Jennifer Armentrout, and this is on my very high list, and I am all caught up with it. There are currently 3 books out: The Darkest Star, The Brightest Shadow, and The Brightest Night. We are currently waiting for The Fever of Winter, which is going to be the final book in the series, and it is set to come out in 2023, and my guess is around March, but that's just my guess. We have no idea when. But I have reread the series so many times. It's my favorite, like I said before. I love the story, the characters, the romance. It's just all of it's amazing. And of course, Jennifer Armentrout doesn't shy away from writing an incredible near-death experience romance, and I love that. Also, I am not ready to say goodbye to the Lux world, and I think she's not going to continue with the world after finishing the Origin series. But because she's currently writing a lot of new series, so it's time to let this one go. But I'm going to be super sad because I just love this world so much, the characters, and I'm super invested in. We have a manga series, and that series is Sasaki to Miyano, and many of you know that I have a slight obsession with this anime slash a manga, and I have read all the volumes that there are. I am currently reading it one chapter a month as it releases, and we're currently at chapter 46. If I remember correctly, I might confuse it because I'm currently in the middle of so many mangas, but this is a BL romance about these 2 high school boys, and Miyano is a student who enjoys reading the BL romance manga, and he keeps it a secret because of all the teasing and stuff and prejudices that there are. Sasaki saves him from a fight that happens. I'm trying not to spoil everything because you can also watch the anime. It's currently has 12 episodes out. We are supposed to get a movie and a spin-off anime that I'm going to talk about later. But still, and he saves basically Miyano and his friend, and then he becomes interested in Miyano, wants to start to get to know him. They become friends, and then it gets a little more sweet and cute and funny. It's just amazing. I love it so much. I am currently trying to collect all the volumes, but it's taking me a while because every time I buy a manga, I'm like, why can't I buy a book? And it's like, it's a whole situation for me. So let's hope soon I will be able to get all 8 volumes, if I remember correctly. We have another manga that is Hirano to Kagiura. This is the spin-off to Sasaki to Miyano, and another one of my favorite mangas. I'm currently reading it. We have currently 3 volumes out, and it gets updated one chapter a month. It used to be one every 3 months, but now I think the schedule has changed to 1 month. Thank God, because that was torture. And this is a quite slower story than Sasaki Miyano, if you can believe that. And Hirano and Kaji-kun are roommates in a college dorm, and Kaji-kun has feelings for Hirano senpai, but Hirano isn't sure what he's feeling. He only sees him as a kuhai and friend, and as someone who wants to take care of, but we don't know if he still has feelings for Kaji-kun. Just a disclaimer, they haven't started dating in the manga yet, so keep in mind that, even though everyone keeps raving about them, I am guessing that it's going to happen around volume 8, even 10, because Sasaki to Miyano, it took 6 volumes, so this one I think is going to take even more because it's quite slower, but I have no problem with that. The more the merrier, and I just love the stories so much. We have Once Upon a Broken Heart series by Stephanie Garber, and many of you know that the first in this series we have currently 2 books out, Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After, coming out September 13th, I believe, and it's one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I was hooked from this book and praying for this book ever since I finished the Caraval trilogy, and Stephanie Garber announced that she's writing a new book, and I was like, please give me a Jack's book, I really need it. He's like the most complex, interesting character ever, and I really want to read things from his point of view and all that. So she heard our prayers and gave us Once Upon a Broken Heart. I was quite sad that we didn't get Jack's POV, but still this book is really good. It has all the Caraval feelings to it, and the romance with Evangeline is just amazing. Also, I love watching how we get to see Jax before the events of Caraval and Jax after the events of Caraval, and it's such a huge drastic change to him, and I just love that. We also get to see the world expanding in the series, and a lot of new creatures and myths and all that appear in the story, and I just love it so much. I really need to reread this before my copy arrives for the ballad, but I still have time because it hasn't even started shipping yet. So once I finish my current reads, I will pick up Once Upon a Broken Heart. We have the From Brother and Ashes by James Armentrout. Just a disclaimer, you're going to find a lot of JLA books in this list because she's my all-time favorite author. And From Brother and Ash took me by such a surprise because I gave it a try, I think, in the beginning of the year, and I just couldn't get past the first scene where they meet in that that establishment. Basically, it was super difficult to get into that scene. I have no idea why, but when I picked it up again in May, I was able to get past that, and as soon as the love interest was introduced and we got to read about Poppy more, I fell in love with her and Castile, and I just love the story so much. I was able to predict quite a few of the cliffhangers just because I have experience with JLA works, but I was able to predict like 20% of all the cliffhangers, and I just love that about her. She just gives us a few clues that we can solve and be happy, but then she blows our mind with all the other plot twists. So yeah, that's what I love about JLA the most. There are currently 4 books out in this series. There are From Blood and Ash, The Kingdom of... Oh my god, I'm blanking out on the second title. I'm so sorry, I can't remember the second title. The Crown of Gilded Bones and The War of Two Queens. So my favorite so far is book 3, just because Poppy and Castilla are in a really good place in the relationship at that point. We also see a lot of stuff happening with their queen and storyline, so I just love that book more. But a close second is the second book, and it just gives me so many Akuma vibes, and just one of more of the reasons why I love the series so much. I'm caught up in the series, and the 5th book is coming. We have no idea when it's coming out because JLA is currently writing The Fever Winter, and I'm so grateful for that. She also is currently writing a new series and a fantasy one. We have no idea when it's coming out, but we know that she's writing it. So let's hope that the next From the Nas book is going to come out before 2023 or 24. So hi ho. Next we have the Belgrave Dynasty by Kalia Reed. This is a spin-off to the Surviving Trace trilogy, and that is one of my favorite trilogies. This series is supposed to have 10 books total. So far we have 2 books out, and we are currently waiting for the third one. The first one is called The King of the South, and it's following Livingston, who is the brother of Etienne from the love interest from the trilogy. And the second and third book, they're following Nat and Asa's story, and Nat is Etienne's sister. So yeah, and the Nat and Asa's story is going to split up into 2 books, and I just can't even begin to describe how much I need the third book in this series, because after that cliffhanger and for the fact I knew that that lady was bad news from the minute that she was introduced, I'm really hoping that Nat and Asa is going to get a happy ending, because it really deserve it. They had so many difficult in life, more tragic stuff happened to them. I just hope they are happy by the end of all this turmoil that is going to happen in book 3. We have Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas, and for this one I'm again caught up with it. I have read House of Earth and Blood and House of Sky and Breath, and I absolutely love them. The first one I gave 5 stars. The second one is a complicated book for me because I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one, but the last 100 pages totally redeemed it for me, so I gave it 5 stars, but it's actually 4 stars, if that makes sense. But still, I'm super excited for book number 3. I'm so happy that Sarah J. Maas decided to write the Crescent City book before the Akotar book, because after that cliffhanger, I so needed to know what happens next. And if you know, you know. I'm trying not to spoil you guys, but I have talked about this book in one of my wrap-ups. I will put the link up here if you want to check out my thoughts. But still, I can't wait for the book, and I think it's going to come out next year or the year after that. I have no idea. We have a manga series, and this was my first ever manga, because I kept seeing on TikTok and on Instagram, and it was BL, so I don't need much else. So I started reading it. I'm currently on chapter 58. I'm currently waiting for a new one, and it's torture because I have no idea where to look to see the schedule. So I just go in and check once a week to see if it has released, because it is Korean, so we need to wait for the English translation, so it takes a while. But this one is really steamy and spicy, so keep in mind that, but it's really good. So that's it for my very high categories, so let's go straight into high, and I'm super excited. Let's start with the Eden series by Debbie Perry. I am fully caught up with this one. So far we have 3 books out: Indigo Reads, Juniper Hill, and Garden Flats. Garden Flats released a few months back, and it was my most anticipated release of the summer. I was a little bit disappointed because I didn't end up loving it as much as I thought I would, but I'm beginning to think that maybe the series isn't as much of a joy for me as her Jameson Valley series was. But still, I will definitely going to continue. Book number 5, Jasper Vale, is going to come out in the beginning of 2023, and I'm super excited for it. We're getting Eloise's story, which is another one of the Eden siblings, and it's going to be super fun. Next, we have the Akotar series, and I know many of you are shocked that this isn't on my very high list. It's just because in the next book I DNF'd it. I have no interest of reading from Nesta. I tried my best to do it, but as soon as we were in her head with her inner monologues, I was like, screw it, I can stand to listen to you whining and whining. I just don't. And the way she's treating Cassian, I mean, what does he even see in her? She's like such a bitch, and I'm sorry, but it's the truth. So DNF that one. I'm hoping the Azrael book will be amazing. If it is in fact an Azrael book, we have no idea. But I just want Farah and Reese. And yes, I am interested to see Cassian's story and Azrael's story and so many other stories from the Avatar world. But I want to see stuff from Reese's eyes or Ferris again or even Cassian and Azrael. Don't give me freaking Nesta. I don't care for her. Anyways, that's my thought. We have a manga series and that is Spy Family. I know many of you are surprised that it isn't even by a very high list again, but my obsession has a little bit died down for this one after reading volume 6, and it was kind of a letdown. I still haven't read volumes 7 and 8. I need to be in the right state of mind for that one. And I'm currently reading other manga series, so I'm not rushing it or anything. But I have finished the anime. I'm currently waiting for part 2, and I'm super excited because it's a fun little anime for me to watch. Also, I really want for Yor and oh my god, I forgot his name, Twilight, to get together or at least kiss something. Also, I have a feeling this will be a super long manga series because we are almost to volume 10 and still they don't know each other's identities. They haven't kissed or anything, not even a hug. We mostly see Anya's adventures and stuff, and it's getting a little bit tiring to say the truth, but let's hope it picks up in the next volumes. We have my current reading manga series, and that is Chainsaw Man. I read volume 1 during the summer and I absolutely loved it, but I wasn't really in the mood for a shonen at the time because I was in the Demon Slayer mode and I couldn't stop reading that one. So I picked up Chainsaw Man a few days ago again, and I only have 2 volumes left until I'm fully caught up with part 1, and I can't wait for the anime. All this gore and blood and super intense fight scenes to be animated is gonna be insane. Also, this manga series is so crazy. It has so many plot twists. It's just getting more and more crazy with each volume, and I'm loving it. I highly recommend you guys reading it if you don't mind the gore of it, and it's a little more adult on the adult side than the other shonen manga that I have read. Still, I am loving it. We have the graphic novel Heartstopper by Alice Oseman, and I have such happiness when I'm so happy when I'm reading these volumes because they are super cute and fluffy and easy to read. I was so happy when I saw the TV show and picking up the small things that were part of the books, but still I love the books more than TV show. They just have this magic that the TV show doesn't. Not to say that they aren't both amazing, and I can't wait for seasons 2 and 3 on the TV show. Also, volume 5 is coming out, I think, next year, and I can't wait for that one because I think it's going to be the final volume, and I'm so not ready to say goodbye, but still it's going to be amazing. We have the Villain series by V.E. Schwab. Many of you know that Vicious was my favorite book of 2020. I loved it so much. It was such a unique story. It was sci-fi, something that I almost never read. And it had so many more great characters. Victor Vale is just incredible. And because of the book number 2, Vengeful, took almost 2 years to release. I think maybe it was more. I forgot what Vicious was about, and I lost my love for the characters. So when I went to pick it up, I had no idea what was happening. But after checking on Goodreads and seeing that book number 3 had a long publication date, I decided to hold off for reading this series until at least book number 3 came out so I can binge read the entire trilogy, because this is just getting excessive and I can't do this when I will read the book number 2 and then the other one will take another 5 years to release, and then I'm going to forget all over again, and start all over again, and it's like super exhausting. Next is The Heroes of Olympus by Rick Riordan. I love this series so much. It's such a unique story, and I love watching our Percy Jackson characters as more of a teenager, adult side. Also, the new characters, Leo, and so many others are super fun to read about. I still haven't finished the series. I have read up to book 3 and I have started The House of Hades a few months back, but I wasn't really in the mood for a fantasy at the time, so I put it down and I will try to pick it up again, but I have no idea when that will be. So let's hope it's before the end of the year. If it's not, I won't cry about it, but I want to finish it because I only have 2 books left, but they are quite huge, so it's quite intimidating. So let's hope for the best. For my high list, so let's go to our medium list and see the books. So I don't have as many, and let's start with Brother You series by Al Kennedy. I started this series earlier this year and I read the first 2 books, The Chase and the Risk. The Chase I didn't love as much, but the Risk was incredible. I gave it 4.75 out of 5 stars. I am really excited to start reading the play, Hunter story, but I'm not really in the mood for it right now. I am super immersed in manga at the moment, and I'm trying to catch up with a few animes, so I haven't been prioritizing reading as much. I am hoping to start a new book soon, but we'll see how that goes. Next, we have Dreamland Billionaires by Lauren Asher, and this is a series I'm not quite sure how I feel about yet. I love Lauren Asher because her Hereditary series is one of my all-time favorites, but I read the fine print and I gave it like 3.5 stars. It wasn't as amazing as I thought it was going to be. I didn't love it as much as everyone else did, but in terms of contention, I still haven't read. I'm hoping to do it soon because it's not really big and it's not super slow, so I will be able to do it pretty quickly. But we also have a new one coming, and that is Final Offer. I believe it's coming out next year. So we'll see how I feel after reading both of those, and if I still don't like it, I'm going to DNF the series. No bad feelings towards Lauren Asher because I'm still praying that she writes her Hereditary Next Generation series, and let's just hope she does. With another series that I'm not sure how I feel about yet, that is the Twisted series by Anna Huang. I read Twisted Love a few months ago and I really liked it. It was like 4 out of 5 stars. I was quite annoyed with Alex and how everything turned out, but I really did like the ending with the groveling and all of that. But I'm hesitant about continuing the series because the second book is a bodyguard romance and I'm not really into those, so that's what it has been holding me up. I will try to read it, and if I still don't like it, I'm going to DNF someone and continue with Twisted Hate and Twisted Lies. The one that I'm most excited about is Twisted Lies. I'm sorry, Twisted Lies, because I heard so many good amazing things about it, and I heard it's a slow burn and I don't need any more so I can read it, so let's hope I will finally get around to doing that. Now, The Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. I have read Corrupt and absolutely loved it, 5 out of 5 stars. I am quite hesitant about starting book number 2 and Hideaway that is following Kai, because I'm just waiting for the right mood to set, because it is a dark romance, but it's also quite a big book. It's like 500 pages long, so I need to be in the right state of mind, because lately I'm a step before a reading slump or a burnout, and I'm just not ready for that. Manga series, and I know many of you will be shocked to hear this, but it's Jujutsu Kaisen, and I have lost almost all my love for Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm not sure how I'm going to continue with this, but I just don't care for the characters anymore. I can't even rewatch the anime. It's just a weird situation for me. I started reading the Jujutsu Kaisen manga a few months ago. I read stuff volume 3 and it was pure torture. I was so bored. I couldn't keep up with it. I just don't understand why I can connect with this story, but and as I asked a few of my friends, they said that it keeps getting more complicated and more difficult to understand. So I'm not sure how that is even possible. So I am this close to DNFing it, but I still hope that I will end up enjoying it more if I continue past the anime. So let's hope for that. That's it for my high list and the of my medium list. So let's go to my ifs list. First we have Kingdom of the Wicked. I know this is quite a surprise because Kerry Scalco is one of my all-time favorite authors, but still in this series I haven't felt as connected with the characters or the story. It's a 4-star series for me. I am planning on finishing this. I have pre-ordered the final book in this series, but I have to say I wasn't so happy about this series as I was reading Stalking Jack the Ripper. I'm so hoping that her next series is so much better because I liked the setting and the story and all that, but I didn't connect so much with the characters. So I'm hoping she will fix that in her next series. So we have Salicious Players Club by Sarah Kate, and I have decided to DNF this series. I read the first book a few months back. I really liked it because it was a boyfriend's dad trope, and that is one of my favorites. So I ended up enjoying more, but the second one was a step brother, but not blood related. So it was a sort of complex plot for me, and I didn't enjoy it. So I ended up DNFing at 60%, and I have no desire to continue with the series. It's too BDSM style for me. I don't like those I have discovered, so nothing to say that these books aren't good, but it's just not for me. So that's it for my video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and stick around. Also, I would really appreciate if you guys could check out my links. It will be down below, and I will see you for my next video very soon. Bye.